Hey folks, welcome to Black Gumbo Southern Gardening. We're going to plant some pepper seeds. I'm going to show you how easy it is to start peppers in a tray. Well, here I am, a little change of scenery from our normal garden table out back. Up in the front with my portable garden table 2000. I like to sometimes work on the bed of my truck. It's beautiful day. There's sunshine over here. I'm in the filtered shade of an oak tree, and it's just nice to be right here. So we're going to start some seeds. I've got all these pepper seeds. I'm going to grow a lot of peppers this year because I really enjoy having peppers. They're delicious. I like hot ones. I like sweet ones of all types. So we've got a Tabasco. We've got this unusual, I don't even know how to say that word. I've got some chili tapines, wild chilies, orange jalapenos, bells. We've got it all. It's real easy to start and grow peppers. The main requirement that peppers have is warmth. They like warm weather. And to bring them up, usually a little more time is involved to bring the seeds up than, say, a tomato. And normally people who grow a garden are growing both of those, peppers and tomatoes. Always start your peppers a little bit later than you would your tomatoes. Because if you put the peppers out the same time you put your tomatoes out and you get a freak frost or a cold snap, that can stunt your peppers and set them back. They really don't like when they're young to have that fluctuation. So I like to wait about a month, 4 weeks or so after I've started my tomatoes, and then I'll start my peppers. So we're going to just start them in seed trays today. I've got my Jiffy potting mix here, and well, let's just get started. While you can grow in compost or finely sifted compost, you need something that's light, and so I suggest you get a seed starting mix specifically for starting seeds, or use straight peat moss. That's basically what this stuff is, just straight peat moss with a little bit of perlite in there, and that's what we're going to use today, just a commercial seed starting mix.
This is what we want, seed starting mix. You could use this as well.
We're going to put it in this bucket and pre-moisten it. It's a whole lot easier to pre-moisten your soil than try to water it in the trays. And the reason for that is peat moss it repels water. It's got high surface tension. Until you break that surface tension, it's going to repel water. So what we're going to do is just put some water in here and mix it up. And it usually takes more than you think. Now, right now it's just damp, but it's not quite there yet. I want the soil to be able to stick together. And when you squeeze it, it doesn't drip water, but when you squeeze it together, it'll hold together. So we're not quite there. More water. Once you break the surface tension of this peat moss, it retains moisture really, really well. And I think this one bag will be enough to fill the trays. Let's go try. Here's what we're using today. We're going to be using these cheap Jiffy trays. And they usually come with these inserts like this. I like to break them apart so I can, mix and match things. And I'm missing one, so I'm just going to use this little pot right here. I'm going to plant 2 trays worth of stuff today. These, you can get these elongated little cells. These I got from Gary at the Rusted Garden in his shop over there. But they all fit in just these standard vacuum-formed seed trays. And I like these seed trays because they last you a few years, but they also come with these humidity domes. And that's important when starting under the lights. You don't want everything to dry out. And a humidity dome is a really nice addition to your setup. If you don't have one, don't worry, just put a clear plastic bag over it and fold it over on itself, and that plastic bag will do the same thing as a humidity dome.
Here is the Jiffy tray that I like with this humidity dome. I don't like these pellets, but you can use those. It's nice they have these small ones too. I like that. This one here is a real nice option as well, except it looks like these don't really come apart very easily. Yeah, okay. We might try this one.
You want to make sure that you press your mix down into the cells fill them all the way. We want this plug to be nice and dense so that when we pop it out with the roots in there, it'll stay together. All right, I'm just gonna go through and fill up all these cells for us. You know what? I did not know that in much of the world, maybe even most of the world, that people call chilies and peppers, they use the two words and they mean different things. I did not know that. I always just called anything that was in the capsicum, family a pepper, whether it's a chili or whether it's an actual big pepper. And I think what I've learned is the difference is chilies are small, and peppers are large. Is that how you've understood that? Or am I just hearing things? Because we've pre-moistened it, it goes in there and stays in there where we want it pretty well. If we had not pre-moistened it and you just spread the dry seed starting mixture over your tray, it would be real hard for that surface tension to be broken. It needs a little bit of force and manual movement. You can do it. I've done it in the past, and it just takes a while for this to start taking up water the way you like it. I think it's far better just to go ahead and pre-soak your seed starting mixture. Now, you may have noticed, if you're a seasoned veteran of gardening and seed starting, that I'm doing something that all the books tell you not to do. I'm planting in seed cells that have not been cleaned from last season. And that's risky. The reason it's risky is diseases can be wintered over in these remnants here. If you had fungus gnats, if you had some sort of a soil-borne disease last year, then it can come back and get you. But I didn't have any diseases last year, and well, man, we're gardening by the seat of our pants around here. We're gonna be adventuresome. One day when you buck the rules, it'll come back and get you though. Just note that. I'm gonna start with our Tabasco peppers, and I'm gonna do one cell of each type, and that'll give me 12 different types. And I'm going to put one seed, actually, because I have an abundance here, I'm gonna put 2 seeds in each cell, and we'll come in thin as we need to. 2 seeds, no more than 2. Germination rate ought to be pretty good on these. This is good quality fresh seed. So there's our Tabasco seeds, 2 in each cell. Put these back in the pack, and all you want to do is shove them in. I keep trying to use this tool and it's not working for me. You just want to shove them in and pinch a little of the seed starting soil over the top of your seeds. There's one that got stuck to my finger. Trying to hitchhike out of here, huh? So just shove them in there. Make sure you get them in. Put some soil over the top. Real simple. I'll look down in there and make sure they're in there. Shove them in. Pinch some soil over them. Now, since this is pre-moistened potting mix, that mixture is a little bit more wet than I would have liked. I got it a little bit more wet. But that's okay. That just means I don't have to water these in just yet. There's plenty of moisture in there. I like to pack it down a bit so that you can get good contact with the soil. The seeds need contact with the soil. And then, don't forget to put your label in. Let me find my label. This 6-cell tray is my Tabasco peppers. All right, let's keep going. I don't know how to say that. Do you know how to say the name of this pepper? It's a beautiful little pepper. I think this came as a free seed. Apparently Baker Creek had lots of them. So we're going to try them. Once again, a couple of seeds in each hole. Push them in. Cover them over. Always read the back of your seed packet and look for the planting information. Some of these seeds, most peppers and chilies, you can just plant them 1/4 inch deep, cover them over, and you're good. But some of them actually prefer to have light to help the germination, and so you have to surface sow those and just barely lightly cover them with your seed starting mix. And for that, I would use a dry sprinkling. Just dust over the top of those seeds that are sown on the surface if your seed packet tells you to. Most of these don't require that. Another tip that I just demonstrated for you, the problem when you put your seeds back in, hold it away from here. You don't want to drop seeds in here and have stuff come up where you don't expect it to come up. Once you're done, just put our humidity dome over there, and that'll keep this from drying out too quickly, because we're going to put this under some grow lights, and the grow lights are hot. If you don't have fluorescent bulbs, or if your LED grow lights don't heat up very much, you can get a mat to put under an electric heater mat, and that'll help keep them warm. So I've brought all my plants now, my seeds that we've started, up to the grow light. This is a 6 bulb fluorescent fixture, and it'll hold 4 of these trays this way underneath, or that way. What I'm going to do is just let them sit up here and monitor the temperatures. 82 degrees right here at the plant level here, and I want it to be anywhere between 80 and 90 degrees to get these peppers started. These lights are sufficient in my context to heat up my soil enough to germinate those seeds. So I've got my tomatoes there. I can't bring the lights any lower, but if I need to bring this tray up higher to get closer to the lights, I can just slip some books or boxes under there and get it just under those lights. Now these lights will get pretty hot, and those pepper seeds do need that warmth, so I may do that. I may put some books under there. But if you don't have a grow light, I strongly suggest saving up and investing in one. They help you get your seeds started 8 to 10 weeks before the growing season starts outdoors, and you can start them early and get them growing and get them up, and then you'll have your transplants ready. You'll have your seed starts ready. You don't have to go buy them at the store. And you can grow all different varieties. You can grow whatever you want to grow. You're not gonna be restricted to those that are whatever the seed companies give you. Man, those tomatoes really need some fertilizer. You want it to stay on top of watering. You want your soil to be moist but not wet. And under these lights, this soil, even with the humidity dome, can dry out. But when you take your humidity dome off, that's when you've got to stay on top of watering even more. And like I said, I'll just lift one of these trays out of here. Let me show you. When I water, I usually just use this tea can, and I put 2 of these in each tray. When I water, I just lift this out of here and pour my water directly in there. And because we've pre-moistened our soil and the surface tension is already broken, it'll just wick up into the pots here, these little cells. So that's how you do it. Real simple. So that's it. There's no real mystery or magic to starting your own seeds. And we've grown pepper plants for years here by bringing them up just like you saw me do today. So let's review. You need seed starting mix, not potting soil. You need to pre-moisten that by breaking the surface tension. Pack your cells densely because you want the roots to have a dense medium, so when you pull that plug out of there when you transplant it, you will have it won't fall apart. You want to plant most pepper seeds 1/4 of an inch deep into that moist potting mix and just gently cover them over. But read your seed packet, because sometimes seeds need light to germinate, and those kinds you just barely sprinkle some potting mix, or some seed starting mix over the top of those. Use a humidity dome. If you don't have one, you can use a clear plastic bag, and put them in the lights under the lights at about 80 to 90 degrees. The hotter the better, but don't go over like 95 degrees or you might have bad germination. And that's all there is to it. We'll follow these seeds, and I'll show you how to thin them. Some of them we might top, and that's all future. But right now, if I can do this, you can do it. You can grow your own food. Hey, like us on Facebook, follow us on Instagram, and please subscribe to our channel. We're aiming for that 100,000 mark, and I think we're going to get there soon. So happy gardening to you. We'll talk to you next time. Bye-bye.